Good morning, sunshines. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Conversation about hiding, about your expertise, about your experiences. But first, say good morning, sunshine. Hashtag GMS in the comments. I know you guys wish that Whit and John was going to be here hosting today again, but he just doesn't have it in him. That was a big deal for him last week. It was wore him out the hosting. Actually, yesterday he asked me if he could do good morning, sunshine. So anyhow, say good morning, sunshine. Share anything that you're grateful for today. I'm grateful that Quincy is going to attempt to go to the dentist to have his fillings filled again. Again, you guys, this is not easy. This is not easy for my poor little baby boy. So grateful, hoping it goes amazing. Let's talk about this, right? Yesterday, I had the honor of being on a podcast called Two Disabled Dudes. Really fun experience. And what they do is they advocate for different rare diseases and help support and educate and inform and entertain people, while getting more information out there. So it was a really neat experience. And one of the things they asked me is like, it seems like you really wear your heart on your sleeve. Like you share a lot, right? Because we talked about how difficult it can be to share sometimes. And how I even shared with you guys at one point where I'm like, people can be mean. Like I've been trying to share about Witten's diseases and what it's like as a chemo mom. And not all of that is light. A lot of it is actually pretty heavy and challenging. And then you get this flack or slack or whatever that word is, right? And you hold on, please, sir. Okay, but they're gone, remember? So you get this like kickback and then you don't want to share, right? I've been at that point. And this is about doing the opposite of that. Okay. So we're going to put it to your world right now and what you might be coveting or hiding that the world needs, that people could benefit from, the way that you could support others. So I want you to think about some experiences that you've had that have been challenging in the past. Okay. So one of your experiences, maybe you kicked it at school. It was really difficult, but you crushed it. Like you got a 4.0. You were completely a studious. Honey, I'm doing a good morning, sunshine. Okay, well, I'll get you for something as soon as I come out of here. You can grab an apple, sir, or you can wait for me. You absolutely no, because you remember what would happen? No. Do you remember what would happen for mom? Okay, so that's your experience, right? Maybe you were a top level athlete. You like it was there were difficult times, or maybe you were an athlete that had an injury and then you no longer get to do your sport. That could be a difficult situation. Maybe you went through bankruptcy, like your good old pal here, right? Maybe you had a financial storm in your world. Maybe you had a big job shift or a late job shift, or you're currently going through one of those. Maybe you've survived some different illnesses or challenges or cancer. Maybe you've gone through divorce. You've experienced death in your family and in big ways, in different levels and ages. Maybe you've had overcome an addiction. You have addiction recovery on your side. There's some big things that you've done, right? And I find that some people, either one, they don't think their story matters. They don't think that they're like, yes, you went through it. You're on the other side. You're just going to forget about it and you're going to move on. That doesn't define you. Your divorce doesn't define you. Your previous addiction doesn't define you. You going through as a chemo mom doesn't define you, whatever that is. And I get that, right? Not wanting to become that, but the experience that you had and the way you moved through it and got to the other side, I'm guessing you have some pretty badass knowledge that if you could supply to somebody else who's going through it right now, you could light up the world. If you light up one life, if you support one person, that's lighting up the world, because you don't know how that shift for them could shift that butterfly effect, right? All of the people in their circle. So I wanted to encourage you guys. Well, okay, so I'm sorry. So one of the things was like, you might just not know, right? You might not think that your story is important enough. So you're not sharing, you're not advocating, you're not reaching out. The other piece is that you could be fearful that the information that you have to share isn't valuable. Spoiler alert, it is, right? Somebody else who's going out, like they're going through a divorce right now, they have no idea how to maneuver through it. And you've been through that. and like reaching out to offer support if they desire it, if they want it, is a huge deal. You do have value. You do have experience. The third thing that could be happening is that you don't really like know where to share. I don't want to air my baggage all over like you, Callie. That's fine. I totally get that. But like where, I don't even know where. Like how would I start? And I found that on Facebook specifically, there are so many different groups of people moving through things where you could come in and support others. So there could be, an addiction recovery group, like where people are just starting to move through that, where you could go in and you could share different posts, comment on things, react to other people, and also start to build some relationships of people specifically that need you, right? There's groups where people have had people pass in their life, right? And it used to be that you had to be like, I don't know what we did, probably like look up in the yellow pages for chemo mom support group, right? And you're like trying to find this like group, and you see everybody sitting in a circle like you do on Wreck-It Ralph, where they're the villains group. You guys know what I'm talking about? Mom moment. You see it like that, but that's not how it is anymore. I think about myself in the different groups that I've made multiple connections with moms, right, who went through it, and I reached up to them and I was like, dude, I need help. Like I don't even know what am I doing? And they gave me the slightest tips that changed the course of Witten's treatment and the way I approached it. And now I have people reaching out all the time, right, who are freshly diagnosed with whether it is LCH, which I really have seen very rare, but I have seen a couple times since I've started doing this, and I'm able to support them with that. Or it might be the ABPD, or just a serious illness, like how are you maneuvering this? Different types of childhood cancer, and they're reaching out and letting me or asking for support, and I'm reaching in. Like, I message all the time, like, let me know if I can help. If there's anything that I can do. Do you need any support? Do you need any information? Do you just need a friend right now? Somebody to relate to. And just that, like, finding the group and then building relationships could make a big difference in somebody's life. So walking away from today's conversation, I would love to encourage you to think about something you've maneuvered in your life that was challenging, even if it was 10 years ago, right? Talking to myself right now, 10 years ago, bankruptcy. There's probably, and then some people hide when you have your problems, like, right, you're not gonna be able to find everybody, but there's probably some groups out there, like, how do I maneuver financial stress? Or in my world, if I'm made aware, it's made aware to me that like somebody's going through something, could I reach out and say, yo, just want to let you know I've been through that. Like, let me know if you want any support or if I can just be there for you. Sometimes it's just, I've been through that. That's all they need to hear. They're not alone. They're not the only one who's maneuvered this. And that's the final thing today, you guys. You're not the only one who's gone through that, who's going, whatever you're going through right now. I know it might feel super difficult, like I'm the only one who's experienced this, but in this world of 7.5 billion people, we've all, like, there are people who have experienced what you're experiencing, and there are people who will experience what you experienced. Does that make sense? So us connecting in community to support one another to get to the other side in a supportive and happy way. Of course, if you had the worst experience ever, I mean, I guess you could share like how you screwed it up. That works too, right? Don't do what I did. Don't do what I did. This is what I did in my divorce. Oh, I screwed that one up big time, right? Maybe it is that. But drawing from our experiences and sharing, imagine how you could be the voice of change, even just for one person. Okay, if you have any suggestions on this, you guys, I would love to hear about that. If you would like to share like something that you've overcome, that would be really powerful. And it would be the first step to getting out of your comfort zone, because some people are very like, oh, like, I don't want to open up. I know I could help other people, Cal, but I just don't look at me. I don't want to share that. Maybe this could be one of your peeling the layers off to your superhero costume, like realizing you could do it. Like, yes, I've been through, I did have breast cancer and I came out on the other side. I did go through that bankruptcy and I came out on the other side. I did get divorced and I came out on the other side. I have lost someone who's super important to me and I've come out on the other side, all but difficult, but here I am. So I love you guys. Good morning, sunshines. Wish us well at the dentist. It's going to go really well. He wants to get his cavities filled so that we can eat candy tomorrow. That is the motivating factor. All right. Love you guys. Light and love. Perspective reveals miracles. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.